Welcome to Gear Gripe. I'm doing a bunch of videos at once, doing like a Netflix thing, getting out all my seasons at one time. I've got the kids really busy doing other things, so I figured I better just get this done all at one time. And I'm kind of starting and ending my channel all at the same time. I had a journey, and that was to replace my Peak design. Got a Tom Talk for the mid time and decided that I needed to replace it with other bags. And I wanted my Peak design to do everything, so I could have one bag for travel and one bag for home, one bag for everything. Way too many zippers, very uncomfortable, and it just doesn't meet my needs. It's unfortunate. I've really enjoyed it, but it's time to move on. So I've got it on Marketplace to sell. I've used my Tom Talk for the last 6 months to a year as a time to just replace and think without feeling rushed. I've tried almost every brand out there to end up with Able Carry being my favorite brand. But this is not going to work for when I go on my upcoming trip. And I'm taking a trip. I think it's like my first trip in like 5 years. And so I'm very excited. I'm getting on a plane. I'm going somewhere. And I'm not going to take my Peak design. I took it to New York a couple years ago and I was absolutely miserable. And when you have to carry it for 4 and 5 hours, because we left our hotel, we carried it for 4 or 5 hours and it was so uncomfortable. Would not do that again. And I thought, okay, it's time. And so I did a lot of reviews. I did a lot of looking, and I set up, I thought Aer Travel Pack is the best one. That's what everybody says. So I got it. I have it here. I did get it in the Ultra. I also got their travel pouch, or their, what is this, the pouchy thing you use in the bathroom. It came with this, special edition. I saved it because you get 2 weeks to look at it or so, and then you got to send it back if you don't like it, but it said, special edition on it. My daughter and I sat with this bag and we hashed it out. Should I keep it? Should I send it back? Because it's about $300 for the bag. It's $30 for the waist strap. And then this pouch right here was $70. And I'm going to just give you my gripes on all three. I'm not going to run through every little thing with you because you don't need me to waste your time. But I will tell you my gripes, and so you can make your own decision on what you think. So going to New York City, going to any town where you're not familiar with the city, I think it's important that you blend in. And that's why I went for the Ultra, because the Ultra blends in to wherever I am. And so this is it right here. I find that it blends in. I like it better than Cordura. I like it better than the X-Pack. I do not like Aer's X-Pack. I had something X-Pack from them and I sent it back. I did not like the orange, and I did not like the feel of their X-Pack. Now, I know X-Pack is X-Pack, but the X-Pack in Able Carry is just better. I don't know why, but I did not like Aer's X-Pack, and I definitely didn't like the orange. For me, this was a much better use of the X-Pack for me. So I wanted something too that if I was walking around, because anytime I travel with my children, and I needed something that would be 100% waterproof, like no negotiation, and just be abrasion resistant. And I needed the best thing they had, because you could use it and you could not. So I needed something that was like the best. So the look doesn't matter to me. I would never do the Ultra and something I'm going to use every day. Nope, I don't like it for that. So for the use that I'm going to use this for, the Ultra is good. But the use for every day would be a no. I don't like it for that. And my daughter even said, when we had our big powwow in here for the last couple hours, she even said that she did not like it, but for the use I wanted it for, because she's like, if you're walking around a different, state, country with one of my siblings, you need to be good. And I said, well, I agree. No matter the weather, no matter all of it, I need to be safe. I need to know that it's going to work for me. And so this is the best one for something like that. But again, never in an everyday, nothing in something I use every day. I guess, unless I lived in a place where it rains all the time and you needed that, then yeah, go for it. Some things I love about this bag are it stands up on its own. And my daughter even said, she goes, you could just set this down in an airport and you can almost use it as a table. I never thought of that. She's like, you could just set it here, and she's like, I have let me take off the compression straps. And she's like, you could just set this in the airport, just set your stuff right on top of it. And I said, that is a really good, I had never thought of that. So if you set it here, there's nothing in it right now. But if you set it down, she's like, you could just set something on it and, just do what you have to do. I mean, it sits on the ground, stellar. It's not falling over. Again, that's huge. But there are some gripes about it. I think my gripes would be is that when you set it down, these only stick out and they don't do anything else. So I'm almost wondering if I can keep it, and I might have to send it back. Still in that window to send it back, because these do not, they do go down like this, but they really just stick out. She's like, couldn't they have found a way to like make them do something different? On the City Pack Pro, the handle right here goes this way, so you can take the straps and pop them in there. I wish they would have done something like that with this. If they would have put this going this way, you could have at least tucked it in, because this is just, it's annoying. It's annoying. It's a lot. As I've said with other, bags from Aer on the City Pack Pro, it's the same. You have a $300 bag and you've got this like 50 cents thing on here. Now in an able carry, which I think I missed this in my able carry video that I did, theirs are amazing. I mean, they don't come off. They're on there. They're not going anywhere. And it's just this little piece of hardware. And they're on every one of them. And I mean, oh, this one isn't. Actually, this one's this. But the way that they're on here, they don't ever come out. Maybe it's the fact that they're thicker. I'm not really sure. But here we can see the difference. Yeah, you can see a little bit of a difference there. These are pathetic. The one on Air's, they should be ashamed. They're awful. They pop out constantly. They're totally not even worth whatever money they paid for these. They come out constantly. They're hard to find. They're not pleasurable to touch. The waist belt, ooh, got a lot of straps going on. The waist belt, I never saw any reviews on the waist belt anywhere. And online, they have a bad review. People don't like them. I would have to say the gripe is they're not easy to put on. I mean, come on, seriously, you can't make these easier to put on. I actually had to call my son down from upstairs. He's upstairs. I said, you have got to come down and put these on for me. He's like, oh, it's easy. It's just this little clip. And he goes to put them on. He's like, okay, this is a pain. This is ridiculous. And I would agree. I'm not sure where this made any sense. So one of my biggest gripes with this bag is once they're on, they're on. They are not going to come off easily. Now, you might find a way because you've got skills. But for me, no. I have no idea. And I don't think I can call my son wherever I go. I got the Ultras that go with the bag. They are nice, but again, for just very little, for a little bit of money, a little extra money, we could have figured out a way to keep these somewhat, easier to put on or somewhat manageable. I would never carry this bag without these. Now other people say, oh, you don't need them. You don't need them. Yeah, you do. These are great. I don't know why they have such a bad review outside of the fact that these are impossible to put on and off. But they're comfortable. They make all the difference. Even my daughter said she would never carry this without these. My son said I looked really funny with them, but they're a necessity. These load lifters are another one of my gripes. Maybe because I'm only 5'6", but I tighten these things as far as they can go. They don't lift anything. Even my daughter said, and she's 2 inches taller than me. My daughter even said, she's like, these are useless. And everybody shows these great load lifters and how the bag goes from here to here. And I was so excited to try a bag with load lifters. I did not find them to do much of anything. But I did find the hip belt to do a lot. So if you're going to get the bag, I highly recommend getting the waist belt. Because here's the thing. When you need it, you need it. And if you're going on a trip and you need it once, it was worth the $30. Because when you don't have it, being miserable is worth that $30. Because when I traveled with my daughter and we traveled around and I had to wear my pack all that time, I would have paid hundreds of dollars to be, I don't know, I just didn't enjoy where I was because of the stress. Now, I did have a Tortuga that I did send back, the 40-liter Tortuga. I got the light, but lighter pro, I don't like the design. The design of it is not good. Now, this design makes you kind of blend more into the crowd. And when you have that Tortuga, it says, hey, she's got some money. I don't feel that with this because if you know backpacks, you know the Ultra is the best and it costs you a bunch of money. But if you don't know backpacks, you would never think this was a $300 backpack because it does not stand out or shine in that way. It doesn't say, hey, look at me, I'm an expensive backpack. So I would say that a gripe is the material, but it's also really great because it's it doesn't make you stand out. And it's just a great, and somebody said you can see like glittery things in it. I don't notice any glittery things in it. I mean, it's got a little bit of shine, but not really glittery. What were some of my other gripes? Oh, this here. They should just get rid of this. I think the tech pouch in the front, I would have probably just gotten rid of. These zippers drive me crazy, but I don't have to use it every day, so I'm okay. This, I mean, when people do these zippers so close together, it is so hard to find anything. So I have to put those little color coders on them. I've got them on another bag over here. You see that? I have to put these little color coders on them. And, oh yeah, that's another gripe with my Able Carry. I put that in another review. The zippers, they need 2 on the front. They got 2 on the front. It's just too many zippers, too many handles. So that's always going to be a gripe for me, is we don't need so many. I would say too, if you're going overseas or you're going anywhere, you really don't need this. And I don't think I would access it. Again, if you're on a trip where you're not in your hometown and you open this up where everybody can see, they're going to see all your expensive tech. I just don't think that's smart. And my daughter said the same thing I was thinking. She said, you know what? I would never put tech in here. I put my tech in that alpaca because she loves that alpaca. And the alpaca is amazing. The alpaca tech pouch replaced my Peak Design. And I've been a Peak Design, like I said from the beginning, I've been a Peak Design diehard. I've got their wash pouch, their tech pouch, their backpacks. I've got everything. And Peak Design is gone. I don't use Peak Design at all anymore. Everything I have of them is sold. I even had their sling gone. I don't have any of it anymore. It's unfortunate. But the sling, the straps always came out. I didn't like it. It was hard to use. The backpack was heavy. The wash pouch is just clunky and big, and it doesn't really do anything well. And I don't like the material on the outside. And there's just a lot about Peak Design I don't like. And there's way too many zippers, way too many pouches. And I feel like that's kind of the same thing here, is that I wouldn't put all that here. I put it in a tech pouch because I really like my alpaca tech pouch. So I would use that. I wouldn't use all this. But she says the same thing I did. She's like, I put something down here like a coat or something, put something to read in here. But she goes, all I put in here is like my toiletries. And that's so crazy. I don't know if anybody else thinks this way, but all my tech pouches in the City Pack Pro 2 and in this one and all of this techie stuff, I just put my toiletries. For traveling local or traveling somewhere in a plane, on a train, in a car, I would just put toiletries. I put tissues, I put combs, I put all the things me and my kids might need in here. And that way when you open it up, people see tissues, that's it. But my tech pouch has everything that I need in it. And these do not have tech pouches in the Able Carries. There's no tech pouches in there, like little tech areas like this, which I love. This would be a gripe of mine. You don't need it. I also don't, I mean, people said this is like that they upgraded their fabric on the inside. Isn't this great? I don't think it's that great. Not for the price point. For me, it just is cheapy. It feels kind of cheapy. It looks kind of cheapy. Again, that's just me. I do like the green. It's kind of cool. Oh, and here's the thing too. There's nothing felt or anything in any of this. So so I guess this is another gripe. Back here, this is nicely padded, but there's zero felt. There's anything like extra. Again, for a $300 bag, I'd like to see something extra. I do like this kind of like hidden pouch right here, which is kind of nice. I mean, that is nice. I would choose this over the Tortuga just due to the fact that I like the design better. And I think it allows you to blend into a crowd easier. And I don't think a Tortuga Pro is worth $350. But then again, I paid like $330 for this. But the material's better. It's just, to me, a better bag. And it's not going to make you center of a crowd. I do wish, though, this was not like this. And I found the comfort level to be maybe a 6 out of 10. The Able Carries are an 8.5 out of 10. This I did not find that great, which might be because of the Ultra, but this is not a mattress experience. I was very on the edge for returning it. I hate to say it, still might go back. More than likely I'm going to keep it because how often do you really do this big travel? At least for me, I might do these big trips maybe 5 times a year. So I can deal with it, it's fine. But if it can help me when I'm traveling with a child somewhere that's not here in my local area, it's totally worth it. But I would do this hip belt in a heartbeat. Just deal with the frustration getting it on and off because it's tragic. It's tragic. And the compression straps, I mean, everything about it is great. But I have to say this is extremely, extremely overrated, at least on the Ultra version. If you can see that, that's not much padding. Let me show you this really quick. This is my Able Carry. I mean, look at this. This is a Max EDC, and this is the Travel. They're big old 35 liter, and this one's what, 26 liter. Look at the difference in the straps. I mean, can you see that? I mean, this one is so much better. I don't get why people are saying that the Aer is better. For me, it's just not better. And it could be, again, the Ultra, but I did not find great comfort in this. And I also found the Tortugas to be uncomfortable, really like on the inside, very uncomfortable. But the Tortuga and the Aers are very similar. At least the Tortuga Light 40 liter and this one, I have to say they're very similar, kind of in that roughness, and the padding isn't as thick as I would hoped. Now, I could be wrong. If you have an Aer Travel Pack 3 and you do not have the Ultra, I would be interested to see if the pads are better. I don't know, but I have to say I'm underwhelmed, especially with everyone saying mattress experience best ever. Maybe the Cordura is better, but again, I would never take Cordura on a trip where I didn't know if the weather was going to be good. And the Cordura I don't like the Cordura. I have one bag in Cordura. I would never get another bag in Cordura. And that's the Aer City Pack Pro 2. And that's because I have to use it for work and I want to blend in. I don't want to be all, chunky and loud in a meeting. I want to stand up on its own. And so the City Pack Pro 2 and Cordura is fine, but I only use it for work and I will not use it for anything else. It's a lint magnet. I don't know, it's heavy. I just wouldn't use it for anything else. But I'm glad I have it. I won't return it. And it does serve a great purpose for me, but I don't enjoy it. And it's the same with this one too. I'm going to use it. It's got a purpose. Excuse me, but I don't know if I'm going to enjoy it like I do my Able Carries. It's more about just being functional. But I am underwhelmed by these. Extremely underwhelmed, which is unfortunate. And for the price point, that is unfortunate. But anyway, that's my gripes and my gear gripes. And one more, sorry. I'm gonna add a little more time to this video. This is it. I'll do a separate review on this, but this is supposed to go with this right here. And with the strap, this was like $400. So for my gripe would be, that's pricey. And I'll give you my Aer story really quick. I got the City Pack Pro 2. It had something in it. I wrote them and said, this is not mine. I have a used bag. They wrote me back and were rude. They were just flat out rude. That I left it in there. It was me. And I wrote back like, are you serious? I have the person's item. Like it had their name on it. I'm like, no, this is someone's like stuff. And they said no. And the rudeness was just mind-boggling to me. So then they said, would you like a discount? I said, no, I'd rather not have a discount on the bag that I just purchased. What I would like is a discount code for when I buy my next purchase, because I have one more thing I really want to buy. And they're like, okay, we'll give you a 10%. So I'm like, so I've got a used bag. You called me a liar. And then you made nice, but said it was a misunderstanding. Really shocked. I'm really shocked at the way they treated me. Just very shocked. But, I'm not a reviewer, so they don't have to treat me nice. They can just be rude, which, again, fine. So they gave me a 10% discount code for this. So she's like, buy it, or she said, buy it, and then we'll apply it. And I thought that was kind of, okay, but I believed them. So I bought this, and I got the hip belt. I spent $400. So they wrote me back, and they said, we will give you one item 10% off. I did not fight, though my email said we will give you 10% off your next order. And I mean, come on, it was like an extra $10 to give me the whole order 10% off, especially when you sent me a used bag, called me a liar, and then tried to cover your tracks and say it was a miscommunication. So then they gave me 10% off one item. So just, I don't know, just kind of raunchy. I don't think that's good business, especially when you have to wait 2 weeks for your product and it takes over 4 weeks to get a refund. So I had bought a sling for them, an X-Pack sling and a Tech Pouch Slim X-Pack from them. I didn't like either one. They didn't fit my needs. I didn't like the neon. There was a lot about the X-Pack I didn't like. So I sent them back, and it took a long time to get a refund. Long time. So I was really hesitant to do my second purchase, but realized I needed to because of this upcoming trip. Just disappointed that they wouldn't honor the 10% for the entire order. Again, like $10. I can afford $10, but it was just more the matter of it. So I'm just not keen on Aer. I'm just not. Mattress experience, not so much for me. Mattress experience, not so much. Water bottle holders, eh. This is kind of, eh. I mean, it's nice, but if I didn't have able carry, I'd probably be more in love with these bags. But because I have able carry, I'm good. I won't buy another Aer bag. This is the end for me. My daughter thinks I should send this back, but we'll save that for another video. I'm not going to try this on just because I don't have a way to edit. And there's a gripe. I don't want to edit, and I don't like to edit. And, oh, not a good handle, but that's it. I promise I'm done. Bye-bye.